is fight weekend again. But this time around, we have the best card, probably of all year. 6 great fights in Saudi, thanks to Turkey, because fucking Floyd Schofield decided to duck Shakur Stevenson. I don't know if I want to touch too much on it because I just want to give you out my predictions on how do I think these 3 fights are going to go, and then I'll talk about the main event on its own on another video, of course. But let's go with the one that's least interesting, which was a Shakur versus Floyd. I was being extra biased towards Floyd. I was, Kid Austin, you got my attention, do something. I was rooting for him, but I did believe Shakur was going to win. He's just so good defensively minded. He can be boring for those who don't like running around. But it is what it is. The fight is canceled. It's moving on. They might gonna get. They're probably gonna give him a tune-up. As of yet, there's still nothing, and I don't care about it. It's probably gonna be like the 3rd fight in the card, which I don't agree because it's not a big stellar fight. But let us go with the more that is least entertaining to me. Hamzas Shiraz versus Carlos Adames for the middleweight championship belt. I believe it's the WBC, if I recall. I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Sorry if I got it wrong. Carlos Adames, a pure boxer puncher in a way. Hamzas, who knocked out Austin Williams. Mo Williams. It's coming out of decent knockouts. It's his first. This is a fight that makes him from a prospect to a contender. He did decide not to fight Johnny Big, even though technically there was an offer, but he's deciding to go on this route. Carlos Adames, who was talking shit the whole time to Johnny Beck, decided to go this route. In each perspective's point of view of Vice, they are the easier fight for each other. I believe that Hamzas will win. I'm going to go with a stoppage win. If Patrick Teixeira can definitely beat Carlos Adames, I believe Hamzas has more tools, more power, more movement, more hype to his name to win that fight. But I do know that in a way, Carlos Adames is the one with the better resume in a way, because it's not a deep resume, but he does have some good opponents in there. I know that he wanted Big Charlo. He never got him. This is, in a way, his showcase fight, so he does have to bring the fight. Technically, it's a 50-50, but even though I'm saying knockout, it is possible that Adames can win a decision, because I do believe he's a little bit better, just a tad bit, but I do believe that Hamzas is bringing the power to knock this guy out, and I believe it's going to happen. Hamzas by knockout. I'm going to go with this one as my second least interesting one, because I'm saving the other 3 for the other video. Even though these next 2 fights I do love. Like, I'm interested, I'm highly interested, but I got to go because I feel like this one's more of not a chess match. It's just going to be a pure action match. Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. Buatsi, who's finally stepping up. Buatsi, who's finally getting out of the shadows and into this realm of contention. From a prospect to a contender, even though he was an Olympic fighter, even though he is technically the more complete fighter in a way, even though he hasn't really had the big fights or hasn't stepped up to a moment. This is his step up fight. Is he doing it with the right opponent is the question. Callum Smith, who was a super middleweight ex-champion, moves up after taking a loss by Canelo. He starts knocking out guys left and right. It looks like he carried his power with him. Steps into a Better Beef fight just for Better Beef to knock him out. Because Better Beef is a different type of human monster. A real fucking monster. And man, Buatsi is in a shit show. Because I do believe he ain't gonna do much. I believe Callum is gonna catch him. Why? He's just been there with the guys. He has the experience. He fought George Groves. He's fought John Ryder, Rocky Fielding. Better Beef. He's these 3-4 fights that he had at 175. He's literally looked strong, even though he got knocked out by Better Beef. But who doesn't get knocked out by Better Beef? So I do believe Callum Smith will have enough juice to land. He will have enough, how can I say it? Precision. He's going to counter him good and he's going to catch him. And he's going to land. And I believe Callum Smith will win by a devastating knockout. I can be a little bit biased because I do like Callum Smith, his power shots and all that. But that's just a little bit. Don't kill me for it. Buatsi can win as well a decision. I don't know if he has enough to knock out Callum Smith. And I don't think Better Beef did enough damage for Callum Smith to be punch drunk or weak-chinned or anything like that. Can Joshua Buatsi win? Of course he can. I just don't think he throws enough. I don't know if he has enough power to keep him away. And I just don't know if he can punch enough, throw enough to keep Callum Smith off him, especially with that long reach, especially for that tall stature. He's going to land. He's going to land a straight shot. And Buatsi is going night-night. I honestly see it. I picture it. I believe it. And it's going to happen. What round will I say? It's kind of hard on this one. I'm going to go with the late stoppage between the 9 or 10. That's what if I want to put a number on the stoppage, I'm going to go with 9 or 10. Do not quote me too much. But that's where my gut is throwing me at. Can it happen early? Of course it can. Because Callum has gotten that early. But I think Buatsi's a little bit better to be caught too early. Like I said, Buatsi can definitely win this, but I just see Callum winning by knockout. And then, of course, the caveat, the creme de la creme of these 3 fights that I'm anticipated, that I feel like this one's going to be more of a chess match. You got I Bang You, Zhang versus Kabayel. Zhang coming in from knocking out Wilder, from knocking out Joyce 2 times. Did take a nail to Parker. Looked great against that Croatian sensation. Forgot his name though. But he did take an L to that Joseph Parker. And that's the key right there. Kabayel also coming in from beating Makhmadov and beating Frankie Sanchez. Frankie Sanchez, who's a mover, right? Frankie Sanchez, who beat F.A. Ajagba, while Makhmadov was an undefeated fighter. Big guy like Zhang, except I do feel like Zhang is just a more precision hitter. He punches hard with devastating power and he lands big. Can he land on Kabayel? I do believe Kabayel has way better feet than Parker. And he's shown that he has power to stop Frankie Sanchez and to stop Makhmadov. Is it enough power to stop Zhang? I don't think Zhang has lost by knockout, if I recall. I know he has 2 losses. Maybe even 3. I'm not too sure, but he is the older guy while Kabayel is a younger guy, fresher. Can Zhang land? Of course he can land. Of course. It's the heavyweight division. Every time he touches, it's going to hurt. Every time he touches, it's going to hurt. The point across is, can Kabayel hit? Can Kabayel hit enough and hit strong enough to keep Zhang off him? I don't think he's going to keep Zhang off him. He's going to throw that one too. The one that he likes to throw. The one that he knocked out Wilder with. Wilder was punch drunk. Joe Joyce was standing in front of him. Very slow and methodical. He dropped Parker. Can he drop Kabayel? You also got to remember Kabayel did fight Chisora. A very young Chisora. Not a very young, but younger than what we saw last week against Otto Alim. Or 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Is it possible? I'm going to go... This one, it's going to be more of a chess match. It's going to be, how can Ayid Kabayel come in the inside to get at him while Zhang waiting for his opportunity to counterpunch? Where do I see this going? I do see going towards Ayid Kabayel by decision, unanimously. I think he's going to be moving around. Maybe even drop Zhang for the first time if he hasn't been dropped to the body. And that's where I want to lean also to like a TKO. Because Kabayel does have to fight on the inside coming in. He has to go find him. He is faster than Zhang. And his whole body's right there. But Zhang can also land and can cause devastating hurt. But I ain't going to go with Kabayel. By decision, he's going to survive. Kabayel might be dropped once. Zhang can be dropped to the body. Maybe a stoppage, but I am going to go with Kabayel by decision. And I'm hoping I'm right. That's up now. Schofield was ill. Schofield was not making the weight because he was ill. Schofield, fuck off. You are young. But still, you should have never taken this fight and you should have been honest. You should have been honest and not dragged this shit all along. You fucking ducked. You pussy ass bitch. Yes, you can probably kick my ass and I don't care. I have every right to talk shit. Because you're in the entertainment business and you gotta entertain me. And what you did was bullshit and it's fucked up. And you just cost Shakur a showcase fight where he could have showed his skills. Even though I don't like Shakur. But still. You ducked him and it is what it is. You're lucky you're young because you still got a bright future ahead of yourself. As far as Shakur, no one's going to want to fight you, man. No one's going to want to fight you. Isaac Cruz ducked you. Cepeda ducked you. Frank Martin ducked you. Keyshawn saying he respects you too much, so you're not getting that fight. Tank Davis ducked you. Lomachenko might retire, so he's kind of ducking you. Murataya's not going to fight you. He's probably going to wait for that vacant title from Lomachenko. I don't know what to tell you, man. You're stuck on an American weight class. If I can have an opinion about this, if your skills are that great, move up to 140 and then jump all the way into 147. I'm pretty sure Boots will take that fight. I'm pretty sure Stayones will take that fight. Maybe Mario Barrios. Who's the other 147 champ? I forgot his name, but he's with Top Rank. I don't know. They would take that fight. Haney also ducked you. You're fucked, Shakur. You're fucked. That's all I can say. This Saturday, people. 11 in the morning. It might even start sooner with the prelims. And that's where the Zhilei Zhang versus Ayid Kabayel and the Callum Smith versus Buatsi will be at. While the main card starts at 11. And I'm going to talk about the Ortiz-Madronov prediction, the Bois versus Parker prediction, and of course, Better BF versus Bivol, the rematch, revenge part 2. Call it what it is. You guys have a good night, a good morning, and a good evening.